Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna talk about Mexico, but before I just needed to tell you guys I changed my hair color a bit. It's a bit of like this mahogany, brown, and I'm kind of digging the vibe. And also it's gonna be summer here, so I'm really excited. I live for the sunshine, I live for the good weather, so you know how excited I am about that. So today we're gonna talk about my tips, about or my experience living in Mexico. And even though I only lived like in one place in Mexico, I just wanted to talk about it because um, being a solo female traveler, what my experience was, and what I liked and what I disliked about being and living in Mexico. So, first off, you're gonna love the food. The food is the most amazing thing ever. If you go to Mexico, there's all these different kind of flavors and foods, and they have tacos with everything, like so many different sorts. So many, like back then I was a meat eater, so they had all different kinds of meat, and they always had like these markets where you could get fresh fruit and fresh products, and the fruit there is so cheap. Like I had um a mango for like 20 cents or an avocado for like 20 cents, and here obviously the prices are insane. So because there it's local and you can even get mangoes like from your neighbor in the garden. It's so cheap, and it's so good for people who like fresh fruits and vegetables and are vegetarian, vegan. I have to say though that if you go to a restaurant, there are a lot of like meat dishes. So obviously tacos come with meat, and or quesadillas they are with cheese. And so there's a lot of cheese and meat involved. And I would say like people in Mexico, they love their cheese, they love their meats, they also love their frijoles, so it's like beans, black beans, and now looking back, I love frijoles. It's like this black bean little mash that you just eat with like I. It's really hard for me to dig up all these Mexican expressions, but yeah, with like the little taco chips or with anything, and that's what they love. They also have a lot of like this cheese that is just like on top of something. And another thing that I loved so much was they always have like these different waters. So they have like agua de Jamaica and horchata, and it's like hibiscus flower juice, and like horchata is like I think almond milk with like cinnamon and like melon, and like some almonds, and it's so yummy. It's so yummy, and I love it. Also, the beers are really good. Like I have to say, the cervezas are so good. Like the beers are so good. You have different kind of beers that you can drink with like chile inside, or different flavors, and they always come with like everything comes with a lime. I swear, like every dish just comes with a lime. Every dish comes with salsa. You always find like no matter what it is, a drink, like even if you order like a Corona, a beer, they come with like lime on top. And yeah, that's what I really love. It's really flavorsome. Sometimes it's very spicy, and if you come from like Europe, you have to be in the beginning, the first few weeks, I would say, be a bit like careful with the food that you eat, because your European stomach is used to like highly clean and processed food. So like there it's a bit more, street food, and like the hygiene is not as high as here. But that doesn't mean anything that the food is bad. It's just like that your stomach is not used to it. So you have to be a bit careful in these kind of countries, that in the beginning you slowly once in a while just dab into it. And I think the first couple weeks I was not hungry at all. I don't know what it was, but the first, I think, month I just didn't like to eat. I was always full. Like if I eat a banana, I was like full for like half the day. And I think it's because of the sun and the climate. And after a while my appetite got back, and I ate so much. Like I love the Mexican food. And yeah, another thing is that, you know, if you're traveling in Asia, you're not so used to that. But if you're traveling in Mexico or South America, I'm not sure how it is in other places, but I guess it's the same. That you get when you walk on the street as a woman, you get catcalled. Not everywhere, but like it's pretty normal that you get catcalled. So like they call you like "Hola chica," "Hola bonita," but just make sure that you are always like just make sure that you always look who's around and always be nice to people, be kind, but never like just make sure that you always get your boundaries in place. So that is another thing, to make sure that you know protect your energy and yourself all the time when you're there. And yeah, the mentality there is really really different. So um I remember first time when I went to Mexico, like people were fighting in the club over some argument. And also there was this thing where they had the election of the president. And I remember that they told me, I just had to grab my charger, but they had this thing where they had the election of the president of like the local town I was in. And there was this one guy, a candidate, that they didn't like because I think he was owing people a lot of money. And what they did is they put a lot of rubbish, like they put piles and mountains of rubbish in front of his house and his restaurant in the city. And they kind of made it like a celebration. And it's really something like this type of like revenge mentality, and like the police being a bit corrupt and everything. It really, like, you don't see it in the first when you live there for like just a month or two, but if you know like a bit more, then you will see there's patterns to that a bit. This was just something that I thought was really interesting when